Hello my fellow Seibertronians from Seibertron.com, and welcome to one of our few toy review videos. I felt inclined to actually do a video of this because there wasn't any videos on YouTube when I was looking for one earlier. And I thought I might share a few of my insights verbally instead of via the written word regarding this item. This is kind of my first foray into doing a video review, so please pardon with me as I stumble through this. As you see here, this is the BTS-04 Sonicron toy, obviously a Soundwave homage. Just real quick here, I've got a couple of the other Soundwave toys here. Soundwave is my favorite Transformer of all time. I think it's just a classic toy. I think the fact that Hasbro and Takara Tomy have had such difficulty updating this character has also held on to some of the nostalgia factor for me. As you see here, it's similar in size. I was actually really surprised when I opened up the package that it was as large as it was for Sonicron. Not that I should be surprised, since it is capable of fitting the cassettes inside of... Come on, Laserbeak. It's a tight fit. It's not quite as smooth as G1 Soundwave is. In theory, the door is supposed to be able to close. I even hear it click, but for whatever reason, at least on my version, it will not stay closed. So, nice try, BTS. Hopefully you guys get this figured out for future versions of this mold. And it's also very top heavy. But that could be part of the cassette sticking out, so it's wants to fall over. Nice hand-sized micro cassette recorder, which a lot of reporters still use to this day. It's got some nice little features on it. They try to imitate, like the LED buttons for record, the battery light, etc. It's got pretty much all the buttons you could think of that you would need on a micro cassette recorder. I think one nice little touch that I would like to see if Hasbro ever gives us a toy similar to this is they actually have working buttons, meaning like the mic mode button here actually slides or moves or whatever. This button up here, I believe, is the stop button. It does actually, open up the cassette door. The other buttons don't do anything, which is fine. This is actually a couple of his weapons, which is nicely integrated into the toy. If you look closely here, you can see that a couple of the panels are not lining up properly. I will be damned if I can get them to line up right. As it is, I had to apply some pretty heavy pressure to get this set of panels to line up and this set to line up flush right here. I thought it was just a flaw with the toy initially, but after applying much pressure, basically just squeezing the toy between my hands, I got it to finally snap together, which does speak to the quality of the plastic on the toy. It feels cheaper than a Hasbro or Takara Tomy toy or Transformer does to me. However, if you had seen the amount of force I was applying to get these pieces to align properly, it held up. So, I would not apply that type of force to the Impossible Toys RC Valkyrie toy. Maybe it's better quality than I think it is. I think the alt mode is actually the highlight of this toy. So, like I mentioned, a couple of the weapons here. Oh, real quick, just a quick size comparison with the device label Soundwave for those of you who have him. I think device label Soundwave is the classic Soundwave, at least in my collection. But I'll let you guys be the judge. Alrighty, let's see. Alright, here we go. So first off, we kind of slid this down, this whole piece here, and we're going to pull this up. Head is located right inside of here. We're going to move his legs down to the side. At the back here we've got his head, which I was able to get in. I saw a few of the written reviews where people were saying that the traditional Soundwave head that comes with this toy does not fit in this compartment, or at least they found an easier time with the other head. I didn't even bother yet with the other head, so I can't speak to that. But this head, aside from popping off the loosely connected ball joint, it does fit there, sideways at least. The arm. Throwing the instructions to the wind here, and I'm just going with the flow. We'll see where I end up. Gonna pull out his left fist. Flip out the right fist. And we're almost there. As you can see, the very recognizable Soundwave is starting to form. Now for part of the toy that I'm not a big fan of, let's see. I think we twist this around, split the legs, maybe. Create the lower torso or crotch area, whatever you want to call it. Flip this panel down. I believe there's a little peg there. Yep, there's a peg that snaps that into place. Let's see for the legs. And I love the third-party companies stamping their name and year right on the toy, which they should. It's they created this thing. Do note that there's not a copyright symbol on it. Okay, just swiveling the feet down here. Close the panel. And almost there. It's not a horrible looking robot mode from the waist up. Not a fan of these legs. Yeah, that kind of gives you an idea for the toy here. Just kind of spin them around for you to take a look. As you see, the head is definitely a G1 Soundwave. I feel like, for some reason, as cool as the alt mode is, that the chest area is severely lacking. It just looks too big. Maybe it's because the chest, the cassette door goes side to side, filling up the whole chest area. Or if you look at G1 Soundwave, you know, it's there's an actual shape to the torso of the robot. One of the other issues that I really wish they would have figured out some type of design for is this this tab that ends up sticking out in the back that I guess is needed for the transformation of the robot, but I just feel from a design perspective that something like this on a Hasbro toy would have been, they would have overcome this as an, you know, they would have overcome this obstacle. You know, and that's something you're going to notice when it's like this, but it's there, and it's, I don't know. Hey, but maybe kids will, well, kids aren't going to be playing this, but we'll pretend that they are. Kids will be able to have a little tab to hold on to so they can just move Soundwave into battle like this. Okay, there's his weapons. These are the default like Soundwave weapons, you know. This seems a little small to me. I'm gonna transform G1 Soundwave real quick. G1 Soundwave next to Sonicron. A little shorter in robot mode. Bulk is still there, but it just, yeah, just not quite as tall as Soundwave, and really elegant. G1 Soundwave is just, to me, is just like the perfect Transformer toy. So as you see here, the cannons are obviously a little bigger on G1 Soundwave, where they're pretty rinky-dink on Sonicron here. But what can you do? It's a third-party toy. There you guys see this. This is kind of neat. Just to save on the compact space here, the little peg here actually flips around. It's on a ball joint or something like that, so that for storage purposes it fits nicely right inside the weapon. Pull the tab out, flip the peg around, push the tab back in, or the peg back in, and now he's got another handheld weapon. Let's see here. He's got the some little speakers here. I believe, yep, they come right out. Not sure if I'm putting these on the correct. Let's get this one out. Yeah, instructions are showing to have them standing straight up, but I actually kind of like what they're doing there, where they're falling to the side. Not sure if they're both going to do that or not. This one is not going to. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It gives them a little more bulk to his height there, which makes him a little closer to G1 Soundwave size. Just noticed that there's a third mode called the Submarine Mode in the instructions here. I'll take a couple photos of that in the gallery. So in addition, this is nice too. With this peg, if you want this weapon to go up here, it just plugs into here, to his back. And he's got a missile launcher right on his shoulders. I think that actually kind of looks a little nicer, even though it's not as G1 Soundwave-ish, but that's kind of cool. Here's the Sonicron BTS Soundwave. Fairly posed, but I know there's some concern about the legs. They're not my favorite design, but it seems to support his weight okay. The ball joints and the arms are fine. He's very posable. Head swivel is good, if it'll stay on. Put that to the side. His fist run over there. Yeah, he's got it all. Not too shabby. I'm just really bothered by these legs. I don't know. They're just not doing it for me. Up here, this is all pretty nice, but the legs are just, there's just something not quite right about them. But like I said, he supports his own weight. He's got all the fun poses you can do with him. Though he doesn't seem to be wanting to support his weight here for that pose. Might just be a matter of figuring out how to get the toy to work right. But yeah, I'm just not digging these legs. They're junk, to be honest. I mean, they're leaps and bounds better than G1 Soundwave's legs, which he doesn't have a lot of posability. But you know, this kind of stuff drives me nuts. This is where I would just love to see what the designer actually has to say about the toy when they get the first production samples, and they're like, oh yeah, this is great, or is the guy that actually designed this, is he like disappointed that that's the best that came out of it, and they just move forward and move on to the next thing? I don't know. Well, so anyways, there it is. So my thoughts on this figure. A lot of you know that I'm pretty outspoken against third-party products. I like to think I'm a big cheerleader for Hasbro and Takara Tomy and their efforts. Unfortunately, as many of you will probably be quick to point out, Hasbro's not going to come out with a product like this. For whatever reason, they're very wary of coming out with object formers. Unfortunately, I think for many of us, the object former concept was really quite the appeal with the original Transformers from G1 Megatron, where he actually held a gun to reflector, where he had like a camera, perceptor, the microscope. To me, those are some of the most classic of all Transformer toys, and I'm not sure why they're so intent on just giving us trucks and planes and tanks, and they even pretty much stay away from the animal formers for the most part. So whatever. I like the alt mode. It's a nice change of pace. I am all about the object formers. Joel at Big Bad Toy Store was kind enough to send me this to showcase to you guys. I think they'd like to see this figure sell, and I'm more than happy to show off the product for what it is. And anyways, there's Sonicron, G1 Soundwave right next to him. Put Sonicron back to standing position. Holy cows. Alright, that's enough. So we've got Sonicron, G1 Soundwave, and device label Soundwave. Is he a good fill-in for Classics Soundwave? I'll let you decide. That's not for me to tell you. So, as famous YouTube reviewer Sean Long would say, size comparison time! Or something like that. I think Megatron is definitely taller than him. It's, size-wise it fits. Wouldn't complain. Let's see what else we got here. We got Cyberverse Ironhide, Creo Bumblebee, Deluxe Crankcase. Yeah, so there's a few other items alongside Sonicron. The alternate head here for Sonicron. A little bit more of a unique look that, kind of gives BT their own unique Soundwave type style. Probably after I do this gallery, we'll never see this head on the toy again in my collection. But I know some of you will maybe favor that just to have a different, distinct look, or maybe call it a different character altogether. So there you have it. BT's Sonicron. Do I recommend it? It's up to you. It's about 60 bucks. I'm not a big fan of paying 60 bucks for third-party toys. So if it's something that appeals to you, go buy it, because I don't think this one will be around for too much longer. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please visit Seibertron.com for all the latest Transformer news and information, and of course my world famous toy galleries that everyone seems to enjoy looking at. And yeah, we'll see you on the site.